Hello, thank you for tuning in for this episode of Queuing It Up. Today I have with me special guest, Mr. Mike Horney. He served as the Public Services Director with the City of Lexington since October of 2021. Public services include the Department of Administration, Fleet, Streets, Recycling and Waste, and Stormwater. Mike holds a bachelor's degree from UNC Chapel Hill and a master's degree from UNC Greensboro in applied geography and urban planning. Prior to Lexington, he spent 18 years as a public servant with the town of Kernersville in diverse roles, giving him a wide range of experience and knowledge about local government administration and operations. He served for 10 years in the Public Services Department as the Operations Manager, where he managed technology, budgets, performance management, and the customer service team. In 2015, Mike was awarded the Public Works Executive Credential for Leadership Excellence from the American Public Works Association. Mike also worked an additional 8 years in the Community Development Department as a planner, GIS administrator, and development services manager, where he oversaw zoning, permitting, and inspections, and code enforcement. He's passionate about continuously improving the government's ability to provide quality services with a great intellectual curiosity and appreciation for all the parts that make a city whole and successfully serve its citizens. Mike is married and has 2 sons, ages 14 and 12, and enjoys traveling, spending time with his family, and cheering for the North Carolina Tar Heels. Welcome again, Mike, to Queuing It Up.
Thank you for having me. I appreciate it.
Okay, so today we're here to talk about a very important topic, and that is leaf collection.
Yes, sir.
So when is leaf collection this year? And when should residents put their leaves at the curb?
Well, leaf collection starts on Monday, October the 28th. If your garbage day, your normal pickup day is a Tuesday or a Wednesday, it will begin for you at that time. And then if your garbage collection day is a Thursday or Friday, it will begin 2 weeks following that. So if the day is the 28th, we would suggest you have them out prior to. One of the things that we'll talk about is the efficiency of the operation, and part of that is the trucks don't back up. Once they're on the street, they're on the street, and they're heading down, and they're going to pick up the leaves and move on to the next street. So I definitely would suggest having them out prior to the start of your period.
Why are leaves to be placed at the curb or the edge of the yard instead of just simply putting them in the street?
Well, there's actually several reasons why you would not want to put them in the street. Number one, it can create street flooding. You've got you'll clog your gutters. We don't want them going down the storm drains. You also, when they get wet and they get in the road, they become a hazard to cars driving by. And then, most importantly, this is part of the City of Lexington Code of Ordinances, so it's against the law.
Okay, well, that's a big one.
Mm-hmm.
So how can residents get rid of excess leaves in between the time that the city comes to their residence for leaf collection?
Well, we have a automated yard waste collection program, the brown carts. That service does not stop during leaf collection. Every week we'll be at your house, so you can use the carts in between to store your extra leaves.
So I've heard some calls and folks have said, well, aren't we supposed to bag our leaves this year? And I've had to kind of tell them, no, that's not what we're doing. So we know that residents can't bag their leaves to be picked up, but explain why.
Well, it's because of the method of collection that we use. So our automated trucks that come down the road, they're like vacuums. So if you had them in a bag, we would not be able to collect them. In some cities, that is their method of choice, but that's not how we do it here. So it's strictly an operational issue.
Okay, so you see piles sometimes, and there are leaves there, but there's other stuff there. So what happens if residents have other yard debris in their leaf piles?
It is very common to have sticks and other things in your pile. When we see that, we do have to tag the pile to let the resident know that is not, we cannot accept that, and we have to move on. The sticks and things will actually damage the equipment when it goes up the hose. So we have to be we have to stay very, very steadfast in the fact that we cannot pick that up.
Mike, is there anything else you'd like to share about leaf collection that maybe is not known as commonly?
Yeah, I would say for the residents, just know several things. Number one, we're going to be at your house 4 times between the start of leaf collection in late October and the end of it mid-February. That's actually most of the cities in the Triad region that we compare ourselves with pick up 2 to 3 times. So we do an extra pass on that. One thing to keep in mind though is that it's about a month in between stops. So if we're at your house October the 28th, you can probably figure it's going to be about late November, early December before we're back. So just make sure that if you need your leaves collected, get them out before the collection period of that collection period. But yeah, just keep that in mind because, especially when the holidays come up, everybody wants a nice clean yard. So just make sure you do your preparation on the front end and then it'll run smoothly.
Well, that sounds good, and I want to say thank you to you and the team for the great job you do during leaf collection. I know sometimes that there may be a desire to have them up a little bit quicker, but it is quite effective the way that you do this and the way that you carry out the process. So thank you again for the information. Thank you for being here today, and we look forward to speaking with you soon as we transition to maybe some other projects and programs that are taking place here within the city.
Well, thanks again for having me. I'm looking forward to it.
So to learn more about leaf collection and to see the full schedule, visit www.lexingtonnc.gov/leaf collection. For updates on future episodes, follow us on social media at City of Lexington. If you learned something new, got some value from this podcast, give us a like, comment, or review. Subscribe to us on the platform that you're listening to this episode on. We'll see you next time on Queuing It Up.